Alright, so as you can see, our dough has more than doubled, actually protruding over the sides of this bowl. So what we're going to do is we're going to dump out the dough, and we're going to get about 2 to 3 inch pieces of dough. Let's grab a knife here. And there's just so much dough to work with right now, so I'm just going to cut it in half. And once we cut this, we're going to want to roll it basically into round balls. So we're going to roll it, and then we're going to place it in our baking dish. And the idea is that you want to have all of your round rolls touching. So you don't want them overlapping, sitting on top of each other, but you do want to have them touching. So I'm actually going to cut this straight down the middle again. So this should yield approximately 36 rolls. Now obviously that's quite a lot. So what you can always do is you can always freeze the dough. I freeze a lot of my pizza dough, and you know it takes a while to make the dough, proof the dough. So it's, you know, it saves a step. What you would do is, you know, with the half of dough that I put back in the bowl, you would just form that into one big bowl and put saran wrap over it and stick it in the freezer. So that way when you're ready to use it, all you have to do is just defrost it and you're ready to go. And you're basically going to just start the whole proofing process again. But you don't need to do anything other than that. So I got a lot of rolling here to do. I got my oven preheated, and we are going to get these all situated. And before we put them in the oven, we are going to brush them with probably a little butter here. But I have a lot of rolling to do. Alright, so we have all the dough balls. Make sure if you're not using parchment paper underneath that you do grease your sheet pan. I just used a little bit of cooking spray. I made the dough balls probably a little bit bigger, maybe like 3.5 inches. But I have 2 pans ready to go. So we got our oven preheated to 400. But we're not going to put them in the oven just yet. So right now the dough balls are touching, and what we want to do is we just want to let this sit, and we want them to rise a little bit more. So we're going to let them rise probably for like another 20 minutes, and they'll come puffed up. Then we're going to put them in the oven, and then to finish them off when they come out of the oven, you're just going to put a little bit of melted butter on the top of them. Alright, so our rolls have doubled in size, and now we are ready to put them in the oven. Because we're baking them at such a high heat at 400, they only need to be in for about 11 to 15 minutes, and you just want to see a nice golden brown on the top, but make sure it doesn't get too brown.